Hello. No. Heyo. Uh, I'm Andrea. And welcome to episode 2. So today's topic is gonna be radicalism because
There is radicalism everywhere! Okay, I'm just gonna say I looked like a complete lunatic doing that. And also, there is nobody over here. Nobody. I still look like a crazy person.
it doesn't matter what political ideology, religion, philosophy it is, you can still radicalize it. But don't worry, it's not like radicals can achieve things. I mean, right? No? Oh shit. Anywho, I want to talk about this in 3.5 different things. Different 3.5 parts, more or less. The first, number one, the first part, the first thing I want to talk about. Number one, that's an 11. Number one, it's what causes radicalization, right? Because there has to be a certain causes that cause, there are causes that cause radicalization. So according to Matthew Francis, which I will link below so that you know where I took my information from, he grouped the causes of radicalization in 3 different categories. The first one is situational, and situational is also divided in 2 different parts. 3 different parts. The first one is enabling, which basically consists of all the mechanisms you can use, including the internet, social media, to radicalize someone or radicalize an idea. The other one is motivating, and this is a crucial part of why I think right now there are, a lot of radical movements. That's because the motivation part of the category is can be racial and religious discrimination, or it can also be economic and social exclusion. The other one that is in the situational category is precipitant, which an example that Francis puts in the that sounds like the Deadpool bad guy. So in the precipitant factor, one big example is foreign policy decisions. So wars or trade agreements right now, or anything that concerns foreign policy, that can also trigger a radical movement. The second category is a strategic category, and that is divided in long term and short term. So it's it kind of works towards the ideals. Right. And then the final aspect of radicalization, the final category of the causes of radicalization, is an ideological cause, and that is basically non-negotiable beliefs about what's good for society. And I agree with the characteristics that he has for the causes of radicalism, and they kind of tie very well to Tim's conversation to the conversation I had with Tim, and so why don't we do that now?
Alright, so we're joined here by Tim, a friend of mine, and student also, because why not? And since the second point of my talk is about a little bit like a context of historical events about radicalism, I thought, why the fuck not ask him about it? So Tim, I guess my question for you is about radicalism. Like in regards to what's happening now, what kind of like historical context can you give?
Well, okay, in regards to like radicalism like happening now just like across the world, I think the biggest radical wave that we're seeing is just a radical reaction against like the civil liberty parts of a liberal democracy, in the sense of just like equal rights and equal protection of minorities. So I think you have so-called more older established, generally more rural, less urbanized populations in places like England at the time of Brexit, us at the time of the recent 2016 presidential election, and just recent like far-right reactionary movements that have occurred in other places in Western Europe. Citizens are rebelling against like what they perceive as like a global elite, maybe conspiracy, or just the current international order and structure. And people don't, I guess, like immigration as much as they seem to have wanted to do at one point. So it seems that we're just seeing like a huge reactionary against democratic protection of minorities.
Do you think that being radical is necessary to make changes in our society and the regimes that we live in?
I think radicalism is like necessary when the system in place is just too stagnant and unresponsive to change, to the point that going through those normal mechanisms of action just don't do anything for you. So if, for example, the progress that led up to the 1964 Civil Rights Act, it didn't start with people just going through the normal legal channels. It had to start with people holding mass demonstrations for long years. People who were perceived as radicals that back then are now hailed today as civil rights activists. So I think oftentimes radicals have to start the momentum for serious social systemic change. They're necessary for creating that spark.
Where would you draw the line, like a final point to be radical? Because like there are, even if there is a far right radical regime or a far left radical regime, there comes a point in which radicalism just becomes inefficient and it's not entirely helpful for the society. So where would you draw that line of not being radical? You know what I mean?
I think once through change you've achieved like you've achieved a legislative change that is honestly enacted and implemented by the government, that's probably the time when you want to start to shift your strategy and tactics away from a radical orientation. Because I think often as a radical, your ideals are nice, and that's where you need to start off at. But at a certain point, you need to get the majority of people involved, and you need to get them to approve of your actions. You need to legitimize your actions by getting everybody else on board. And so it's trying to create that dialogue of, we are so stressed, we have been in battle too much to this point, we need your help on this. And after this, we're going to try and work with you, but we need this now.
What do you think the difference is between having opposition and being completely radical about something? Which one do you think would be more effective, and under which circumstances do you think it would be effective?
It's more, so we're talking about like radicalism in different dimensions here. We're talking about like radicalism in terms of like an ideology, and then we're talking about radicalism in terms of like the actual tactics involving, like mass protests, mass labor strikes, work stoppages, such as like that. And a radical ideology being more on the lines of just being like a radical socialist, or far right being like fascist, communist, whatever. So having a more radical ideology, I say, is most effective. Again, when the current like ideological structure is so narrow to the point that there's no room for an honest dialogue. When you just keep on like debating the same points between the so-called left and right, but there's actually not that much difference between them. So I guess that's the point where you want a little bit more of a radical ideology to inject more energy into the dialogue. In terms of radical tactics, I think this goes along to the same points of general stagnancy on the part of the establishment. So when the establishment is just completely unwilling and unresponsive to the needs of the people that are getting just embattled and feel insecure and feel like that the government is not fulfilling its social contract, that's the point where you need to use radical tactics.
Is there anything else you would like to say about?
But yeah. Radicalism doesn't happen in a vacuum. Like, I think people need to understand the history, or just the historical beliefs and historical memory of people. And I think liberals really need to understand that, just in the West, here in America. We need to understand that data is not the most important issue in people's lives. Like, people have a very specific idea of what America means to them, what their country means to them. And so we need to make that step. We need to try and broach the dialogue here and just speak about what a nation means to us. If we want any sort of progress here, if we don't want to be perceived as flag-burning leftist anarchist radicals that want to make all babies gay and kill your grandma on her socialized death panels, we need to start some sort of dialogue here.
That's great. Alright.
Okay, so after talking with Tim and just discussing all of these ideas, I have mixed feelings about radicalism. I mean, I agree that at some point there are some issues that may require a radical to take radical action, like he explained before. But I think that radicalizing an idea can lead to poor decision making, and even like if it stays for too long, it can alienate the people who think different from you, you know, or that they have different ideals, and you don't want that. Like, you want to have a healthy opposition debate, a healthy opposition to make good decisions without coming to the extreme of radicalizing. I don't think that for everything radicalization is the best path. I believe that a lot of things, and this is kind of idealistic maybe, but I believe that a lot of things can be achieved with negotiations and keeping an open mind to informed opinions that may not be yours. And keep in mind when I say informed opinions, because just an opinion is not enough. You need to have an informed opinion, because otherwise you will just become like this dude who just has opinions, and it makes him look like a crazy person. So anyway, that's it for today. Please like the video, watch it, subscribe to my channel in the button below, and let me know what you think. If you want to comment, do you think the radicalism that we needed? Do you think that things would be better without radical ideals? What do you think? Tell me below. But until next time, just keep tuned to more topics and more talks. Oh my god. Okay, I love the weather, the spring weather right now, but I hate the smell of some of the trees here. It's horrible. It's like they have like diarrhea or something. And I don't understand like why they smell so bad. Flowers are supposed to smell good. Yeah, but they don't. And it's annoying because it's every fucking tree on campus.